we also learned that Miss Lisa might be a little bit of a freak. She might be she completely switched up. Like she, dealing with Karen as her daughter, she was like, super wise and all that kind of stuff. As soon as she saw Aaron, she's like, she started turning into a little bit of a, talk about how sexy Aaron is and how she likes younger men. So it's like, Miss Lisa might be a freak. So you learn something new every day. Let's give her an up for that. It's okay to be old and be a freak. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir, it is your boy KB the Boss from ShifterMagazine.com here with another episode of Shifter TV Talk, where we break down the latest episodes from some of our favorite shows. So today we're talking about BET's Sistas. Went down last night, season 5, episode 5. And so we're going to break it down, give our ups and downs from last night's episode. So let's jump right in. So let's start with our downs, people. Let's start with our downs. And so a few downs here. Now this is an up and a down, actually. So I was kind of split on this, but the whole scene with Robin and Andi. If you guys watched it last night, Gary and Robin are starting to do a little bit of business together. They met to discuss some business with some investors. Then afterwards, they had a little personal talk where they started talking about Andi. They got on the subject of Andi. Gary basically told Robin to back off, that him and Andi are back together. And Robin didn't take it too well. So she came into the office with Robin, but was basically asking him for another favor, because she loves to come to him to ask him favors. And so she asked him a favor to help with Sabrina. Well, let's just we mentioned Maurice, but I assume Maurice too, helping with Sabrina and Maurice. And Robin wasn't having it. Like, he went in on her about, about her dating Gary, her choices in men, asked her if she had STDs, went through her whole, was, super foul. Violated her. Like he violated her. Like, Mortal Kombat, finish him or finish her. Like, it was that. Like, he just went in with the disrespectful questions. And even just talking about her work, how she needs to do better at her work. Totally just cold, was not having any of it. And to be honest, I don't really blame him. Even though I felt a little bit sorry for her. She did deserve it though, because she's been playing these two guys. She's been playing Gary. She's been playing Robin. Now Gary's giving into it, and that's finally catching up with her. Saying, and Robin's done. Robin's like, I've had enough of you. What he did to her, man, crazy, like super disrespectful. But again, she did kind of deserve it. So it's both an up and a down for that particular scene. The other down too is just, Danny starting to get involved with this married dude. Even though he's miserable in his marriage, he's still married, man. And so she's getting involved with this married dude. And it's like, what about Preston, man? What about Preston? I'm still a firm believer that she's going to end up with Preston. I think she's going to end up with Preston still. But yeah, her getting involved with this married dude, and I don't like it. That's a down for me. And that's it. There wasn't any other downs for me. I mean, maybe I'm missing something. But I think there's no other downs for this episode. If you saw more downs from this episode, I mean, yes, Maurice isn't there yet. Yes, Sabrina hasn't been there yet. We haven't seen them. The whole story with the whole bio situation has not been there. But I'm not calling it a down yet. And I explained that a few weeks ago. So if you think it's a down, that's okay. You can put it in the comments. Ups. So as I said before, the whole thing with Robin is still a little bit of an up for me. Karen deserved it. But the other up for me is, Miss Lisa, man. Miss Lisa and Zach. So they're having the whole meeting. Miss Lisa invited, the two guys over and Fatima, but she didn't come to the meeting. But so Zach and Aaron come to the meeting, and just that little exchange at the door between Miss Lisa and Zach, where it's like, hey, you're not going to hug me. And they kind of have this little father-son or mother-son type of moment. It was just a really nice moment. Like, it really showed the depth of the relationship, probably even how close, like how serious Zach and Karen were, to have that kind of mother-son dynamic between Miss Lisa and Zach. So for me, that was just like, that was an up. It was like 5 seconds, but I liked it. So it's an up, people. And we also learned We also learned that Miss Lisa might be a little bit of a freak. She might be she completely switched up. Like she, dealing with Karen as her daughter, she was like, super wise and all that kind of stuff. As soon as she saw Aaron, she's like, she started turning into a little bit of a, talk about how sexy Aaron is and how she likes younger men. So it's like, Miss Lisa might be a freak. So you learn something new every day. You know what? Let's give her an up for that. It's okay to be old and be a freak. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean you have to retire whatever. So yes. What else do we have here? As an up, Danny and Q. I don't really like the idea of Q working at the airport with Danny, but she killed him. Like, talk about violating. Like she went in on him, like tore him up, called him a scrub, like talking about his ankle bracelet. Like, it was a funny scene too, actually. We need to give her up for the fact that it was just a funny scene. Like, Danny is a really good character, a really funny character. So she deserves an up just for that. But yeah, that whole scene with just her interaction with Q. I don't like it. I don't like him, but the way she handles him, I like that. So she got an up for that. And last but not least, Madam is finally here. Eva Marcel is finally here. All the Queen's Men crossover after all this long wait. 5 episodes in, we finally get it. She is here. And man, I look forward to seeing it. I look forward to seeing what the relationship between her and Fatima's like. I look forward to seeing just how she handles situations. Like, I look forward to more of Fatima's background story maybe coming out. Like, it'd be interesting to see, man. I'd be interested to see even Madam and Zach's interactions. What are those going to be like? Like, we'll see, man. And even when you look at the scenes for the next episode, Zach's tenant there, her name slipped my mind, but Zach's tenant there knows who Madam is. So it's like, who is? It's like, okay, what's her history even in this city? Like, what's going on there? How come the tenant knows who she is? All that kind of stuff. She's finally here. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna add a whole different layer to the show. It's kind of like Star Wars. This is a complete side note. It's kind of like Star Wars. Star Wars does this thing where they always introduce a boss, and then you realize the whole time there was this real, the real boss behind, the Emperor was actually behind Darth Vader and stuff. This is kind of how that is with Fatima. Even though she's not a villain, but she's been conducting herself a certain way, and now you're kind of seeing, okay, the person, but that really behind the scenes was this person, and so it's gonna be interesting to see that. What else is there? Once again, we said there was no Aaron, there was no Preston, no Maurice, no Sabrina. One thing was interesting. I don't know if I was the only person who learned this. I learned that Zach's full name is Zachary Taylor. You learn something new every day. Maybe I'm the last person to know that. And the last thing too, the scene where they introduced Madam, it was interesting because they had the coworker from upstairs come to join them, and I thought at first, I was like, wait, is this the cousin? Like, were they just editing the promos to make it sound like they were talking about Madam or Eva Marcel, but it was really like they're talking about this coworker. So when the coworker came in, I was like, don't tell me you're the cousin. Don't tell me you're the cousin that maybe even Marcel or Madam and Fatima aren't even related, and it was this cousin that they were just talking about, but they edited it to make us think that she was talking about her cousin being Eva Marcel, aka Madam, but it was just kind of smoke and mirrors. In the end, Eva Marcel, aka Madam, was the cousin. And it was good. Was it worth the wait? Yes, but we'll see. We'll see how this whole thing evolves. But that's it for my ups and downs this episode, people. It was a good episode. It wasn't a great episode. It was a good episode, and I enjoyed it. The big revelation for this episode: Miss Lisa's a freak. So that's it. KB the Boss, ShifterMagazine.com. Oh yes, and we do have. I'm not sure if I'll do an episode next week. Next week I'm going to be on vacation. I'm going to be on a resort in hot weather on a business retreat / vacation. So I'm not dropping any episodes next week, but we'll see. We'll see if I drop some episodes. Once again, we do have the written recap to last night's episode over at shiftermagazine.com. So if you want to check that out, feel free to go over there. And we are still doing our contest. We're going to be doing a contest where a lucky All-American or Sistas fan will get the opportunity to win a chance or enter to win a chance to co-host a full episode of Shifter TV Talk with me, giving your ups and downs from whatever show you choose. If you choose All American, if you choose Sistas, whatever the case may be, it's up to you. But yes, the contest will be for you to come and join me for a whole episode to give your ups and downs and co-host with me, and I can't wait. So stay tuned. Check out our social media. We're going to be probably on Twitter. We're going to be posting it on Twitter. I'm not sure if we're posting it on Instagram, but we'll post it on Twitter at Shifter Magazine. Look out for that. Once again, it's your boy KB the Boss from ShifterMagazine.com. I am out. Peace.